Hey guys. So, Fallout Season 2 just ended, and I want to throw my opinion in the ring. I'm filming this the night it came out, so I may have missed a few details, but that shouldn't matter. Also, spoiler warning, obviously. Watch the final episode first. Alright, I'm not going to take the time to do a full intro, I'm just going to get straight into it. Overall, I really enjoyed this season. In my opinion, there was a lot to like. I mean, everything with Cooper Howard was just top notch. He's just hands down the most interesting character in the show, and the showrunners seem to know that. With his flashbacks and the modern day stuff, I haven't done the calculations, but I'm pretty sure he had like the most screen time of anyone. Or at least it felt that way. Walton Goggins really shined throughout these episodes, and especially in the emotional moments. Everything with Lucy was cool, of course, but being completely honest, I wasn't as interested in that part. I mean, her whole story of the season is just going and looking for her dad, which, I mean, we've done that one before. I know she had a whole arc of learning more about the wasteland and becoming different than what her father's vision is. She destroys that lady's head that controls all the bots, but overall, just a little bit uninteresting. One of the main reasons I think this was is because how little time they had, but I'll get into that later. Maximus's arc was pretty interesting though. We get to see that small glimpse of his past in Shady Sands, even though it's pretty short, but I think it's really awesome. It's pretty rare that we get to see people living happily in Fallout, and it really did make me hate Hank. The exploration of Maximus's identity was the real important part. Because all last season, all he wanted to be was a knight. He wanted to be the big warrior in power armor that comes to the rescue and everything. At the beginning of season 2, he has his original vision. He's a knight, he has the power, everything. But we can see he's just completely unfulfilled. There's those scenes where he's going on the Brotherhood quests where he has to loot all the factory workshops and stuff and kill all those ghouls, and he just has a completely depressed face. I mean, I get it. I know the exact same feeling. Had that so much playing Fallout 4. In the end, he finds out that he's not meant to be with the Brotherhood. His vision for justice and doing what's right just does not align with them whatsoever. I mean, not whatsoever. It does partially, but just not fully, obviously. Skipping a little bit of time, so he finds himself in Freeside wearing NCR power armor. There's one specific moment that gets me where there's that kid that's looking up at him, and in my mind, I think he sees himself in that kid. The same way that he looked up to the elder, what's his face, Quintus? I can't remember his exact name. But when he's saving him when Shady Sands was bombed, that's the same exact feeling there when he's coming in the NCR power armor, save the people of Freeside from the Death Claws. And he's finally earned the right to be a hero. He's finally found his purpose. I really do hope he sticks with the NCR in Season 3. I mean, it wouldn't make sense for him not to. Obviously, the NCR has some problems. Yeah, they're not crucifying people or whatever, but they still deal with corruption and a bunch of other evil stuff, They need people like Maximus who have a good sense of justice and know how to do what's right. That's the only way they can really, keep on the right track. Also, I just gotta talk about that power armor. This thing is so beautiful. It took me a little bit of time to wrap my head fully around it and fully reason it out, but it makes sense in the long run. It's been a long time. They had power armor back in California that we just didn't get to see. So it was really awesome to see this. I'm a bit iffy on the helmet literally pretty much just being a riot helmet, but it looks cool anyways, so I'm not going to complain right now. I loved seeing all the little parts where you could see, oh, they took a T-45 part from there and a T-60 part. It's really all just mashed together of a bunch of different things, plus the NCR branding, a little bit of brand recognition. And that's just pretty awesome. I honestly don't think I could have designed it better. Throughout the season though, all the costumes were pretty great. Gotta give one to the costume design team here. Great job. I really do hope in the next season we get to see some X01 or T51. It's kind of weird we haven't seen T51 at least, because that's pretty much the Fallout armor. I know since Fallout 4 they've tried to push T60 as the Fallout armor, but I mean, come on guys, we know the real thing. X01 would also be pretty cool, which would make sense given, where they're going with Season 3, Enclave shenanigans and such. Speaking of the Enclave, that's another thing I liked about these episodes. Hello. Future Stg here. So, in this section, I recorded myself going into like what I liked about the Enclave coming back and everything, but it's been a few days. I'm editing now, and I completely disagree with what I said. That's why it was bad to record that video the second after I watched the episode, because it was like 2 a.m. But like I don't know. I don't like the Enclave coming back. I know I love the Enclave. They're cool. They're awesome. But like we've been through this so many times. It's just like, come on. And then the surface are the real experiments. Yeah, I mean the surface is an experiment, but like the vaults are too. It also made me feel like they too much lean into like the Enclave did all the bombs. When it's more of a mystery who actually launched the first bombs, but either way, whatever. I don't know, man. I don't like the Enclave being back again. Hopefully we get to see some cool stuff at least. They'll make me go like, oh, oh. It's friggin' Soy Jack at the screen. But, I don't know. Clancy Brown, last president, that's cool though. I think I covered everything. I'll get back to the actual video. Now that I've briefly gone over what I do like, it's time for me to complain. First up, there was just way too much going on this season. Every single episode we get a minute of one storyline, then a minute of another, then a minute of the other. It keeps switching. And it was just like, oh my gosh. Can we just sit in one thing for like at least 2 seconds? None of the storylines really had room to breathe. There were 2 solutions to this. 1, cut some storylines. Or 2, make it more than 8 episodes. Obviously, they did not do either of these, instead giving us kind of a mess with too many plots that didn't wrap up. My suggestion would be to cut everything back at the vaults except for the Norm stuff. While Steph is an interesting character, the Canadian, overall everything else just felt like a little bit too much wasted time. Yeah, her using the Enclave Pip-Boy, which they're probably going to sell as a reskin in real life, to initiate phase 2, that was cool, but it probably could have been done other ways. I would have liked much more if they left what was happening in Vaults 32 and 33 a mystery, and maybe in a future season we could go back and see what happened to the Vaults. Really similar to what happens in an actual Fallout game. Instead, we get a bunch of scenes from the Inbreeding Club, which just unnecessary. Give that time to my boy Maximus or Lucy instead. You know, the main characters. Another thing that bugged me is that scene in the Vault-Tec building when the Radroaches get free. Because Norm hides under a table and remains completely unscathed, and then all the Radroaches in the room kill everyone except the one girl that Norm likes, and then the Radroaches are dead. Somehow. This is the most obvious case of an overuse of plot armor. It just felt kind of weird. Like, okay, I get plot armor is necessary to make the story happen, yada yada yada. But right here, it just felt a little bit too much, a little bit too unbelievable. The Legion in this show felt a little bit weird. I am not a fan of the Legion. I don't even know if you can see it on the camera. That's an NCR flag over there. NCR for life. But I don't know, something felt off. I know they're kind of a silly faction. They're wearing football pads and pretending to be Roman soldiers, but they felt a little bit too goofy, maybe? Don't get me wrong, Chinese Caesar's probably the coolest thing they added to Fallout since the Enclave Remnant armor, but I don't know, there was something about it. I'd say one of my big problems is how they had that civil war with just like the 5-foot little demarcation line, and they're right next to each other. Okay, come on. I know it's a stupid faction, and they just have a silly war going on. But really? That's how silly we're gonna go with it? Can we take it seriously at least a little bit? I do think they saved it a little bit in the end with the obvious reveal of the note saying, I'm Caesar, Legion dies with me, and Kevin becoming Caesar. Although, it's hard for me to take it seriously. This is just a me bad thing, not like a show bad thing. I can't ever take Macaulay Culkin seriously in any other shows, because I just think of Home Alone. I'm sorry. There's some actors like that's just like, I can't get it out of my head for some reason. Like Andrew Garfield, great actor, has some great movies. But I always just see Spider-Man, you know? Aside from that, it was kind of annoying how they spoiled the plot by having a Macaulay Culkin Caesar Funko Pop. Dude, Funko Pops need to die. Like, come on. The thing that upset me the most was the Kings. I love the Kings. Who doesn't? They're like literally the best Fallout faction ever. They're like good people protecting people, and they dress up as Elvis. Come on. Well, now they're ghouls. Well, they're not ghouls. They're dead now. They're gone. Lucy killed them because they were all feral ghouls. Come on, why do we waste a good faction like that? Oh, I know why we do it. It's because they needed their characters come and be the heroes of Freeside and New Vegas, instead of having the Kings be there and interfering and being the protectors. They needed Freeside unprotected. Really annoying that they got rid of this faction just so they could have their little OC story. That's kind of stupid of me to say. They're not OCs, they're the actual characters, but ignore me. Every other faction I worried about was kind of saved in the end, but this one was not. Dude, come on. I want to see Rex too. I love Rex. I miss Rex. What's up, guys? So I realized while editing I completely forgot to do an energy drink review, and I'm not gonna let that happen. So right here, Monster Punk Punch. This came out just last month, so it's new. Never tried it before. Yeah, it's all right. Oh no, that's pretty mid, honestly. I give it like a 6 out of 10. Back to the actual video now. The final negative for me was Liberty Prime. I know, don't get mad at me, please. The thing is though, in Fallout 3, the Brotherhood rebuilt Liberty Prime. And in Fallout 4, the Brotherhood rebuilt Liberty Prime. And then now, in the TV show, the Brotherhood is going to rebuild Liberty Prime. It just feels like another one of those recycled plot lines that's happening again. I know now it's for a different reason because they're fighting other Brotherhood rather than fighting Enclave or Institute, but it's still pretty, like, come on, we're doing this again? What do I hope to see from Season 3? First of all, Super Mutants, but that's guaranteed pretty much because we had Green Ron Perlman come and say some ominous stuff and then leave. Just random setup. I hope we get to see some new factions in Colorado. So far, the TV show has only relied on established factions, but I'd love to see something new, you know? Apart from non-canon stuff, we haven't really gotten much from Colorado. There's a lot of room there to do like some new creative stuff, you know? Not just Enclave. Although it would make sense that the Enclave's wiped everyone out. I know that the Caesar's Legion did have like, I think they took over Denver at one point or something. I'm not the biggest on Caesar's Legion lore, so don't kill me over that. But I don't know, inform me in the comments if you will. Again, I hope the next season's more focused. Cut some storylines or make more episodes. Just please let there not be the filler, annoying stuff unless you're gonna give more time. Overall though, I really enjoyed this season. I know it wasn't the neatest review of all time because I kind of just made this right after watching it. Probably gonna look back on this and think I was stupid in some parts as well as you are, but I don't know, whatever. Please in the comments leave whatever you think about the season, whether it's bad or good. Anything's fine. Fight me on what I said if you want, but I don't really care. Comments are open for you. Also, big shout out to the channel member Hyperion. Thanks, man. You're awesome. If you want to join him as a channel member, get a shout out, get early videos, join. But if you don't want to do that, just liking and subscribing and I don't know, whatever the other things are, they work just as well. If you could do that, that'd be awesome. Really help me out. Enough begging though. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.